Hi, y'all. Welcome to Spirit Mail. I'm Sheryl, and this is Daily Mail episode 68. It's Thursday evening, so a lot of you were probably expecting to see the live broadcast with Vanessa and me. So tonight we're going to talk about conscious uncoupling. What is it? When do you do it? And why do you do it? And I'm going to give you my experience and my understanding and all of that. Whenever two people have the same goal and they're trying to accomplish the same thing and they partner up, sometimes it doesn't always work out the way that you anticipate that it will. But you love each other and you both have a conscious intention to respect each other, love each other, and then release each other. And that's what I've decided to do with Vanessa, is release that relationship, and I will explain why. It gets kind of into the conscious part of it. You've heard me tell the story about whenever Spirit showed me that I was abusive. I also had some other traits like being competitive, extremely competitive. My kids, we would play Scrabble or any kind of board game, and they would finally all just quit. And they say, "Oh, you're so competitive, Mom." Like I couldn't even lighten up in a game. Super competitive. And then there's the need to be right. There's a need to be right. I've always had this real deep need to be right about things. So during this awakening process, I've been letting those things go. I've been releasing those things from myself because I don't want to be that person. I don't believe that the world needs to be competitive. I believe that there's enough, not only for everybody, but there's enough for everybody to enjoy in abundance. The other thing is, I don't believe that truly, as I'm getting more and more conscious, I don't believe anybody can actually be right about anything because the world's just way too big. And then so that was competitive, and that was the need to be right? And then there's that little bit of abuse, because remember, abuse is not about necessarily only physical stuff, but it's about verbal and mental and emotional abuse. So if you watched last week's broadcast with Vanessa and me, if you have any kind of empathic abilities at all, you could feel the energy and the tension in the broadcast as it went on. And because we do care about each other, Vanessa and I were on the phone for about an hour and a half after that broadcast, trying to unpack it and figure out what happened there. And after an hour and a half, we finally decided that we were basically, I wasn't hearing her, and I don't know that she was hearing me. I feel like we were talking at each other. So we decided to get off the phone, and I said, I want to try to unpack this the best way I can, and we'll figure out what to do from there. So as I was unpacking it, or to be able to unpack it, I went and watched the replay. And the first thing that I noticed was, I'm just going to say it, I was an asshole. And I'm not condemning myself. I'm talking about the way that I acted. Okay, let me say that differently. I acted like an asshole. I saw the old Sheryl when I said, "Oh yeah, because somebody wanted me to go back and readdress something that I had started talking about, and Vanessa had interrupted and started talking about what she felt it was related to. And then somebody said, I want to hear what you were going to say about the cup. And I said, oh yeah, because Vanessa had a big mouth. That was not necessary for me to say that. There was nothing loving about that. And whenever I spoke with her on the phone that night and I said something about it, well, actually, it was whenever I called her back after I'd unpacked this whole deal. And I called her back. I said, you know, I acted like a butthole. There was no need for me to say what I said, even though I felt like I was picking, and I felt like if you would have said it to me, I would have laughed. I wouldn't have felt offended by it. It was not necessary for me to say it. We were having a serious conversation, and perhaps there was a part of me that was trying to release the seriousness of it all. I don't know. However, it was not necessary for me to say it. I am such a different person than I used to be, and that was the old Sheryl. And the other thing I said was that I acted like an a-hole. I know I already said asshole, so I might as well just say it. I just don't really like the word, but I acted like it whenever I said, oh, and I'm just going to say right here now that, the length, the name of your YouTube channel is way too long. Again, not necessary. And that's just my opinion. That's, who makes the rule about that? So I acted like a jerk. I really did. And that is not who I am. That's not who I want to be. As I continued to unpack it, what I realized was the very thing that attracted me to Vanessa's personality is the very thing that I needed to go back and revisit this stuff inside of me that I've not really completely let go of. There's still that shadow part in me, that tending to be abusive with my words, because in saying those things, I was basically trying to not consciously, but like the subconscious or that old programming, that old ego was trying to one up. That's how I saw it when I looked back at it. And I don't want to be that person. So one might say, well, Sheryl, moving forward, just be more conscientious about it. It's not quite that simple because the triggers that are there, and I say triggers, meaning that trigger that old ego in me, are there on purpose by spirit, I think. Vanessa's a very, very strong personality, and she reminds me very much of one of my sisters who we have had this kind of relationship all of our lives. We are the closest that we can be, or else we're absolute enemies. There's like no in between. We've never been enemies I've never been the one who has walked away. She's always been the one who's walked away. And I've always felt like I was the victim of her whatever. But these personalities that she had, these same personalities are in Vanessa that are very attractive to me because it reminds me of her. And so I feel like there's just too much work for me to do internally. Not that my sister's wrong, not that Vanessa's wrong. I don't think there's a right or wrong. I love the strength that Vanessa brings. I love the confidence that she brings. I absolutely love that she is very well spoken, very articulate, and I mean she's a boss lady, right? A lady CEO. So I love all those things about her. But there still is something in Sheryl that feels inferior, or else I would not be trying to one-up her in front of my spirit mail community. I mean, really? So again, it's deep, and it goes way, way back for me. So I feel like for me to continue to do this live like that would be a disservice to you guys. Not that I'm trying to hide who I am, because I'm here telling you. So it's not that I'm trying to hide it, but I don't think it's something that needs to play out in public. I think I have some inner work to do. So I made a conscious decision, and I called Vanessa and I apologized for the work that I still have to do, and asked if I didn't ask if she would be okay. It's my decision, it's my channel, but I told her that I wanted to step back from this, and I explained why, and she was so gracious about it. She was so very gracious about it, and I did ask her if she would do a live broadcast with me. Since that time, she's had issues with her mother-in-law being rushed to the hospital, air-meted to the hospital. So please keep her in your prayers. And I did ask if I did reach out to her and ask her again today if she wanted to do it. She said, Sheryl, I won't be on the broadcast. So I'm going to assume that she just cannot get up here and tell you guys, see you later, come check me out at Intuitive Healing Numerology Network. Whatever. I'm assuming that she just can't, because her plate is full right now. So keep her and her family in your prayers, and do check her out. Do follow her, because she does have a lot to offer. Not just me and not just you, but anybody that would want to hear her and listen to her. She does have a lot to offer. But I don't want to wear the badge of that person that I used to be. So I made the decision to step back. And that's why you're getting this daily mail about conscious uncoupling. And tomorrow night I will talk about the badges that we wear, and the how we carry these things with us for a long time. But anyway, I love you guys so much. So we're going to do a PS in case there was something I forgot to say, or in case I could have said it better. God, guides, angels, archangels, Holy Spirit, I thank you so much for our Spirit Mail community. And I thank you for Vanessa and what she taught me and helped me to see about myself that I was not seeing before. Please show me clearly, what is the PS? Is there something I could have said better? Or is there anything that I could have said differently, or anything I forgot to say? I thank you for clear and concise messages. I thank you for love, light, and prosperity. And I thank you for clarification, confirmation, and validation. Please show me the PS. Okay. Victory. So I feel like Spirit's saying, okay, we got you to see it. You still have that stuff in there, right? But I think it's a victory anytime people can make a conscious decision. Whenever two people decide not to do what they intended to do, it doesn't have to be ugly. And nothing ever has to be ugly. We can walk in victory even when we're uncoupling, even when we're unpartnering. We can walk in victory, us and the other person. So I feel like this has been a victory, because I've learned something about myself that I wasn't seeing. But the reason I wasn't seeing it is because I was not exposing myself to anybody who could pull it out of me. So I feel like definitely Vanessa is a soulmate. She was intended to be in my experience for us to have this. I plan to stay in touch with her. I plan to continue to follow her, because like I said, I think there's a lot that I can learn from her. But yes, this was definitely a victory for me to be able to see that in myself and know that, guys, I still have work to do. And I feel like Spirit's confirming that, yes, it's old stuff. It's old stuff, guys, that I thought that I released. And I even told y'all a while back that with that one particular sister that excommunicated herself from our family, I thought I had released it. I thought I had let it go. And when retrograde came around, right at the beginning of retrograde, she sent me a text about something, and I looked at it and I was like, I'm not going to answer you, but it wasn't just about that. It went deeper than that. And that's that was what Vanessa helped pull out of me. And we haven't had a second real long conversation because of what happened with her mother-in-law. But I hope that we get to do that, because I don't think she realizes, the depth of healing that I'm going to be able to do, and releasing that I'm going to be able to do, the guilt, the competitiveness, all that stuff, be able to release, because she came into my life, because we connected. That was a really huge thing, but it does go way back. It goes way back for me. And I feel like Spirit's saying, we're both blessed. She and I are both blessed, and we will continue to be blessed in our endeavors. I know that. And it's not just about us, and we're all going through stuff, right? You guys go through stuff too with other people. And I feel like Spirit's saying, this was victorious because what needed to happen happened. I needed to see that part of me that still exists in there, that old programming, that old ego that is actually still there. I needed to see that. And like I said, I didn't step back because I don't want you guys to see it, and I don't want you to know that it's there. I'm here telling you it's there. So I've got some deep inner work to do where that's concerned, and we'll probably have a chance to visit that again. But until next time, guys, hey, night before last we hit over 40,000 people. I might have said that last night, but thank you. It's you guys. It's every subscriber. It's every like. Every time somebody comments, every time somebody rings my bell, whenever y'all do that, those little algorithms do whatever they do, and it pushes these videos out, and I appreciate that so much. And even the passersby that are not a regular part of this community, I appreciate you too, because every minute that you spend watching my videos is important to growing this channel. So I appreciate you too, each and every one of y'all. Conscious uncoupling. Maybe we can talk more about that a little bit later, but it happens in personal relationships and business relationships anytime we make a conscious decision to step back from something that we thought was what we were supposed to be doing. Guys, I love y'all so much. Go out and have a super duper day. Bye.